The World of Speed doesn't open until the end of April, but we got a sneak peek inside the Wilsonville Museum where you not only get to look at race cars, you can drive one too.
There you go. Just like that.
That's not very graceful.
Oh, it's okay. Just slide your legs straight out there to the pedals.
Okay.
There you go. Now it's going to shift. It's going to shift for you. You just got to keep it on the track.
Ron Hughley, the museum's curator, says driving real race cars is part of our Pacific Northwest heritage.
There is an absolutely incredible car culture which exists here in the Northwest and with racing. The first cross-country race happened in 1904 from Hellgate to Portland between two cars. Only one car finished. The other guys gave up and went fishing. Right here, as we walk off this way, is our Pacific Northwest Hot Rod and Drag Race exhibit. What we're doing here is we're basically showcasing local cars as well as some cars that are from outside of the area, but how hot rodding turned into drag racing. When the guys came back from the war, they had their hot rods and they would race them on the street. Their street cars eventually evolved into purpose-built drag race only vehicles.
So this kind of goes in an order.
Yes,
Walk down.
We're basically telling a timeline of how it goes from the beginning, starting after the war, up until down here at the end where we finish it with the 300-mile-an-hour funny car, which happened in 1993. Now you're in high gear. Now you're going to start going faster. You're only doing about 140 mile an hour then.
Only 140.
This will go almost to 200 mile an hour.
While they won't all do 200, the museum's full of rare, interesting cars that represent all sorts of automotive history.
We've got a 1-of-1 71 Hemi 4-speed Cuda. We've got an LS6 454 4-speed Chevelle. And then we've got a Hemi Dodge Daytona. There's only 17 automatics counted for right now within the Daytona registry. And of course, these were the first cars to go 200 mile an hour in NASCAR. Kind of on this wall is what we're calling the wall of sound. And what we're basically doing is we're trying to tell the story, the correlation between music and cars. This is a 1965 Ford Cobra. It's a real car, the real deal. Just an absolutely incredible car. And you couldn't go from either sides of the spectrum any greater than you would by going to this 1966 VW 21 window bus. People go, why do you have a 21 window VW bus in your motorsports museum? Well, it works really well with the wall of sound because this kind of is a icon of late 60s rock and roll. I bet you they had more of these parked in the out in the mud at Woodstock than they had at any other VW dealership in the entire world.
They've got land speed record cars, stock cars, and a speed shop with engines and other parts. There's even one car with a direct personal connection to the museum.
This car right here is possibly could really be the car that started the museum, shall we say. The founders of the museum, that was his very first car he got. You know, they would go out on dates with this car. And that's one thing that everybody seems to have, whether it's racers, whether it's, you know, moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, they have a story that goes with a car. Cars have always been a symbol of our freedom, of our independence, and some of the great stories that come with these cars. And that's one of the other reasons kind of why we really wanted to do this museum, was because there are so many stories to be told. Keep it going, just hug that line. Stay down, turn down in there, turn down in hard, turn down hard, harder. Okay, now turn back up on the track. Turn back up on the track. That was a good one.
The World of Speed opens on April 24th. There's a ribbon cutting ceremony at 11, and then the doors open to the public. Reporting in Wilsonville, I'm Jessica Greif for the Oregonian and Oregon Live.